Thank you for taking a few minutes to meet with me today. My clients are super excited. They just got their offer accepted, and now we're going into escrow. And there's lots of steps into it, so I thought I would let you help explain. Tell us, first of all, what you do and who you work for.
My name is Tana Jacobo. I work for Chicago Title, and I'm a sales executive here, so I help other agents help with their business, and I help all of our escrow officers, and I make sure that everybody is happy and all the customer service is given.
Perfect. And the main job of Chicago Title, we always think of it as an escrow company, but their main job is selling title insurance. So there's steps to getting that to happen. One of the first one is a preliminary title report goes out, which is kind of like reading your insurance policy. Nobody knows what that means. So kind of tell us a little bit about what that process is, what is in that title report.
So when we get the title report in, we like to make sure that we first start with the owner's name, and we want to make sure that we get the right title, how it's held, whether it be in a trust, or if they're husband and wife, or they own it separately, or if there's someone else on title we aren't sure of. We want to make sure
they actually own the house.
Yes. We want to make sure the contract matches what everybody's saying, and then we just go through it step by step. We check to make sure the taxes are paid, make sure there isn't any delinquents, make sure that there's supplementals. If there is, we need to pay those through escrow.
Now, supplemental is the supplemental property taxes.
Yes.
That most people, they get that bill from the tax collector and they're like, oh, my lender's paying that, and they stick it aside. So a lot of times that is delinquent because they didn't realize they needed to pay it.
Exactly. So we always make sure that we're going to be paying both of those in escrow. And then after that, we also make sure that to verify the easements, if there's any CC&Rs on the property, which would mean sometimes there's an HOA, so we need to get that information as well. And then we also verify the mortgage on the property, if there is or isn't, and then we get that information from the seller so that we can pay it all off in escrow.
So we're making sure that when the buyer closes, they're going to get a title policy that makes sure that they own it, that there's no monies due, that the loans are paid off, the taxes are paid. And so the owner gets that. The lender is also going to get a title policy as part of their requirement as well, right?
Yes, so both the new owner and the lender will both get final title policies with clear title. That's what we want to give, and that's why we make sure we check everything before closing.
And is this something that, like my insurance policy, that we have to renew every year? What does that look like?
Nope, it will just, whenever you're going to sell it, we go through the same process again, and with your new seller, and we're making sure that we're going to clear all of that title for the new owner.
So that policy, when they get it, is good for the entire time that they own their home?
Yes.
So, I mean, if they miss the taxes 3 years from now, that's not covered. But if they find out 3 months from now, they get a bill from the tax collector that there was taxes that were missed, then they can reach out to you and basically kind of make a claim on their policy. And you guys will look into it.
Yes, and we'll look into it. And our escrow manager is very great at getting down to the nitty-gritty and finding out for everybody. We want to be very helpful. It's a scary process, so we want to make sure everybody's
kind of take those scares out of it. And I explained to somebody the other day, then you guys will make sure it gets paid, and then you'll follow up with whoever else should have paid it.
Yes.
But that way they know that it's getting taken care of. Or if an old mortgage or some old heir comes out of the woodwork somewhere, they don't have to hire an attorney to defend their title. That is what their title policy is for. And that is, in our area, always paid for by the seller for them.
Yes.
And then the loan policy is part of their loan closing costs that the lender told them about.
Yes.
So they only pay, and the loan is just a small portion compared to the owners.
Oh, yes.
They get a really nice discount rate on the policy.
Yes,
from the lender.
definitely.
And so the owner's policy insures the buyer for the amount that they paid for the house, and then the lender's policy insures the lender for the amount of the loan.
Yes.
So it's slightly different. They are two completely different policies.
Yes, yes.
Perfect. Well, it's a very complicated document, so hopefully that kind of takes a little bit of the complication out of it for now.
Definitely. And we're always here for anything you guys have questions for.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us today.
Yeah, of course.